Hey there, dog people! Is your dog always stressed when you leave? This is one of the most common issues that we get asked about by far at the veterinary clinic, and it's actually something that we see all the time. A lot of dogs get stressed when their people leave. But luckily for us, there are some really easy things that you can do at home to help with this problem. So, today, we're going to talk about those tips. But before we get into the tips, I want you to watch this very short clip right here of what not to do when your dog is anxious. Okay? So, check this out. Right now, my vet tech Sarah is trying to comfort this very scared dog who needs to get examined. But watch what happens when she tries to force him to go in the exam room. Okay, in this situation, the dog is already stressed and anxious, and trying to force him into a scary place like an exam room is only going to make his anxiety worse. The dog is showing us a few different signs of being stressed or anxious. Panting. He's tucked his tail between his legs. He's also yawning, which is another sign that he's stressed, and he's showing his belly. All of these are signs that the dog is stressed. And if we force him to go into a scary place like the exam room, that stress level is just going to go up. And as soon as he gets into that exam room, guess what's going to happen? He's probably going to start trying to escape. His heart rate's probably going to go up. His breathing's going to get faster. He might even try to bite you because all of these things are scary to him. And he does unfeel safe. So in situations like this, the best thing that you can do is try to be calm. Speak in a nice, low voice and try to give him some treats. Basically, try to make him feel safe, try to build trust, and if you can do that, then once he's a little bit more comfortable, you can start to lead him into the exam room. Okay, so now, let's get into the tips. Tip number 1, is your dog always stressed when you leave? Try establishing a calming routine before you leave the house. One of the best things that you can do to help your dog cope with separation anxiety is to establish a calm and consistent routine before you leave the house. For example, take your dog for a walk, play a game of fetch, or give them a good brushing. Anything that you do on a regular basis will help your dog stay calm and relaxed when you not around. And while we're on the subject of exercise, let me ask you this. Do you exercise your dog before you leave the house? If you said no, you should definitely start doing this. Why? Well, a lot of dogs get stressed when their people leave because they have pent-up energy from being cooped up inside all day. So if you take them outside and you play with them for 15 or 20 minutes before you leave the house, they'll be more likely to be tired and relaxed when you come home. And that will help with the anxiety. But exercise is not the only thing that you can do before you leave the house. Giving your dog a long-lasting chew toy or treat is another great option. These types of toys keep your dog entertained and satisfied and will help ease their boredom while you gone. Just make sure that the toy is durable and safe for your dog to chew on. A great one that we like is the Kong toy. This is a toy that you can fill with treats and peanut butter. It keeps your dog occupied for a long time because they have to work for their treats, and that helps them expend some of that extra energy. Speaking of expending energy, tip number 2 is your dog always stressed when you leave. Try letting them sleep in your beds. Now, a lot of dogs love to sleep in their owner's bed, but did you know that it can also help reduce separation anxiety? If you let your dog sleep in your bed, they'll feel more comfortable and secure, which will help them relax when you're not around. And as an added bonus, sleeping in your bed will give them a chance to bond with you even more than they already have. And speaking of bonding with your dog, one of the best ways to strengthen your bond with your dog is to train them. Training not only helps your dog learn new things, but it also gives them a chance to exercise their body and mind. Plus, when they learn new things, it helps boost their confidence. So if you want to help your dog with separation anxiety, consider signing up for a training class or working with a professional dog trainer. IQ in. Tell you how many times I've ever seen a dog who has separation anxiety issues, and Ivy recommended that the owner work with a trainer, and the owner calls me and tells me that it did unreally work. Well, here's the thing. You have to find a trainer who uses positive reinforcement techniques, and you have to be willing to put in the time and effort to train your dog. So look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but with enough patience and consistency, you can teach your dog new things and help reduce their separation anxiety. And speaking of patience and consistency, tip no. 3 Is your dog always stressed when you leave? Try to ignore the dramatic behavior. We get it. It's hard to watch your furry friend go into a tizzy when you're about to leave the house. But if you give in to their demands for attention, you're only going to make things worse. Instead, try to ignore the dramatic behavior and stick to your guns. Yes, it's tough, but it's important to show your dog that you owe you and give in to their begging or their barking. Consistency is key here, so make sure everyone in your household follows this rule. Otherwise, your dog will figure out that someone will eventually give in and they keep trying until someone does. Tip number 4: is your dog always stressed when you leave? Make leaving the house less stressful for your dog. We get it. Coming home to an empty house can be depressing for your dog. So why not make leaving the house a more positive experience? Try putting on a happy song or playing your dog's favorite game before you head out the door. You could even try giving them a special treat or a new toy before you leave. By making leaving the house a more positive experience, your dog will be less likely to suffer from separation anxiety when you're gone. Tip number 5: is your dog always stressed when you leave? Try not to make a big deal out of coming and going. Dogs can sense our emotions, so it's important to stay calm when you're leaving and when you're coming back home. That means no big hugs and kisses when you say goodbye, and no angry yelling when you come home. After you've been gone a while, just keep things calm and relaxed, and your dog will be less likely to feel anxious. Well, there you have it. 5 tips to help your dog stop being so stressed when you leave the house. Remember, consistency is key. So don't get discouraged if it takes a little time for these tips to work. With a little patience and practice, your dog will be feeling less anxious in no time. Hey, we hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching.